welcome to this edition of Gay Report. I'm Elliot James.
And I'm Marlena coelho-sousae. The female-only Smith's College in Northampton, Massachusetts, received a proposal from an unidentified female student last week that stirred up the campus. The email that quickly went viral calls for an exclusive chapter of the Delta Gamma sorority for straight girls, which will include planned activities such as sorority mixers with Amherst men, weekly dinner dates, photo shoots, and baking nights. The self-identifying heterosexual student wrote in an email that she felt, quote, marginalized at the Women's College of 2600, and that the straight-only sorority could be a great way to socialize with people who you identify more with. The email, which made its various rounds on social media websites, caused many Smith students to voice their feelings regarding the topic on Twitter, the majority of whom never recalled feeling discriminated against or outcasted. The public outcry was so strong that the Smith College student who leaked the email removed the original post, apologizing for the subsequent backlash against the author. Delta Gamma officials are baffled by the email and have been unable to identify who wrote it, saying that this sort of approach does not fall in line with the chapter's values whatsoever, according to USA Today. No sororities currently exist at the Women's College, and Smith College's student body president, Augusta Gronquist, assured her peers in a university-wide email last week that no such sorority would come into an existence, stating, quote, "Student government association practice has been to not charter exclusive organizations."
For the first time, the United Nations met for a ministerial meeting to discuss the issues faced by the LGBT community worldwide. This past Thursday, top international leaders met at the United Nations headquarters in New York City to embark on talks regarding LGBT rights and equality. Among them were United States Secretary of State John Kerry, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Navi Pillay, and the directors of International Gay and Lesbian Human Rights Commission and Human Rights Watch. To set the tone of this discussion, the High Commissioner Navi Pillay stated, quote, "When I became High Commissioner for Human Rights 5 years ago, there was almost no discussion at the United Nations on the human rights challenges faced by lesbian, gay, transgendered, and intersex people. That is no longer the case. The United Nations coalition that is committed to combat LGBT discrimination adopted a declaration that pledged not only to protect LGBT rights, but also to counter homophobic and transphobic attitudes worldwide. In light of this historic meeting, the UN initiative Free and Equal issued a video capturing the highlights from this discussion.
What exists in every corner of the world?
Embraced and celebrated in some countries,
but is illegal in 76.
What is hidden for fear of public shame, imprisonment,
torture, or in 7 countries even
the death penalty.
What tears families apart?
What makes people confront brutal violence on a daily basis?
What simple trait
gets people treated as second-class citizens
everywhere they go?
What gets children kicked out of homes, students bullied and expelled from schools,
and workers fired from jobs without warning?
What has existed in every country throughout history,
but some people still consider
abnormal?
The answer?
Being gay.
Being lesbian.
bisexual,
or transgender.
All over the world, millions of people face violence and discrimination just for being who they are.
Every nation is obligated by international human rights law to protect all lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people from torture, discrimination, and violence.
The United Nations has one simple message to the millions of LGBT people around the world.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
LGBT rights are human rights.
LGBT rights are human rights. Together, we will build a world.
We will build a world that is free and equal.
And now take a look at your local weather.
The New Jersey Star-Ledger newspaper has been under fire this past week after incorrectly reporting on a transgender murder victim in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Erica Morgan was allegedly stabbed by her neighbor, 21-year-old Devontae Scott, in her home earlier this month on Tuesday, September 24th. The New Jersey Star-Ledger began to receive media attention when it came out that Morgan, who was previously identified as male, was in fact a transgendered woman. The article's writer was first approached on the matter by GLAAD, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, but was quickly chastised for not immediately taking action to revise this article. Many expressed the importance of correctly identifying Morgan as a transgendered woman, as it brings light to the ongoing violence the transgender community faces. In addition, the news source was shown disapproval for not adhering to industry standards when commenting and reporting on transgender people. The New Jersey paper has since then issued an updated article acknowledging Erica's gender, but has not yet removed the formal inaccurate article. Many readers and commentators still have been pressuring the New Jersey Star-Ledger to take down the previous article from their online media site and have urged for a formal apology from the writer for misrepresenting the late Erica Morgan. Erica was 26 when she passed this last Tuesday.
Well, the chairman of the Italian-based pasta maker Barilla has been under scrutiny in Europe and the U.S. for his openly homophobic remarks made during this past Wednesday's Italian radio program. Guido Barilla sparked outrage among activists, consumers, and some politicians when he stated that he wouldn't consider using a gay couple to advertise his product, saying that the company's core centers around a traditional classic family. Barilla, after being questioned by the radio host regarding how his gay consumers might feel, added that, quote, "If gays like our product and our advertising, they'll eat our pasta. If they don't like it, then they will not eat it and they will choose another brand," according to the New York Post. Barilla gained more negative reactions when he ended his interview saying that he had no respect for adoption by gay families because it concerns a person who is not able to choose their legal guardian. Mayor Thomas Freeman of upstate Avon, where Barilla operates one of 2 U.S. plants, says that he disagrees with the remarks and feels sorry for Mr. Barilla, if that's truly what he thinks. Others blasted Barilla in multiple languages, labeling his brand Hate Pasta and calling Barilla, quote, "horrendously sexist and homophobic." Many American and European consumers have been emptying the pasta from their kitchen cabinets to make room for pro-gay brands. Barilla recently issued a statement apologizing for hurting anyone's sensitivity, but insisted that traditional families have always been associated with the brand. Italy, whose politics are centered directly around the Catholic Church, remains highly conservative, far behind many other European countries on gay rights, still refusing to recognize same-sex civil unions. Well, that's it for this edition of Gay Report. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Marlena Coelho-Sousae.
And I'm Elliot James.